I just broke one of my handbag rules, but I'm going to allow it and let me explain. So I'm finally here recording in my new space. The lighting in here is not great at all, and the space is really tight. So I'm trying to make do. But if you don't know, we're currently in transition because we're currently building a custom house and it's just not ready yet. So we're in this apartment for the next 4 months. And so I'm just trying to make do with the space that we have. And so here we are. Anyway, I wanted to introduce you to my latest handbag addition to my handbag family. And I did break one of my rules. One of my rules is I don't like to buy duplicates of the same silhouette handbag or the same type of handbag. And the reason for that is because there's so many beautiful handbags out there that I just want the variety, and I enjoy the variety, and I like having options. And so I generally I have never bought the same handbag silhouette twice. And by silhouette, I mean like the same style bag. It's just a different color or whatever. So I did break that rule. So what I'm talking about is the Fendi Baguette. If you know and have watched any of my videos, then you probably know that the Fendi Baguette is one of my all-time favorite bags. And it is so user-friendly. It is so functional and practical for my lifestyle. And it is also very practical and very representative of my personal style. So this is my pink one, and this is in the Napa leather. And I absolutely love it. I wear it to death, and it's one of my favorites. So the other thing you might not know is that raffia is one of my favorite types of materials. But I also would never spend thousands of dollars on a raffia bag just because it's a natural material. It does wear down, it will break down, it will break, dry out, whatever. And that's just not money that is well spent for me where I could justify that kind of price tag. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I did get something that I feel like kind of checks all the boxes for me in terms of that sort of aesthetic, but even beyond that. And I'm gonna show you probably one of the most beautiful bags in my opinion. And it's this Fendi Baguette in the, I think it's the color sand and brown, but it's the interlaced leather. This is all handmade by an artisan in Italy. And so I just love this bag. I just love the idea that it was hand woven by one person. I love that it's made of leather, but I love that it looks like raffia. And it really, I'm sorry, this lighting is terrible. I'm trying to do my best to show you some good lighting, but this is such a beautiful bag in my opinion. As I said, the Fendi Baguette is so functional. You could wear it handheld, you could wear it by the arm, and there's a longer shoulder strap. And if you are petite, then you could wear it crossbody, which is how I wear it. And I will show you some mod shots of how it's worn. And I'm also going to show you some differences of how this particular bag differs slightly from my other pink one. In terms of sizes and dimensions, they're exactly the same, and I will show you that. But what is different is the strap length, which I found kind of interesting. But this really ticks the boxes for having the raffia look without actually being raffia. So it's a lot more sturdy and durable, but still has the beauty of raffia, I think. Now, the Fendi Baguette comes in so many different finishes. This is my favorite finish that I've seen. I know it comes in like crazy things like, well, of course, the sequins. They have it in furs and different, you know, canvases and colors and whatnot. So, but this is the most beautiful in my opinion. So I love this, and it is hand woven all the way around, except for the sides and the bottom. So that's just a flat piece of leather, and I love that because it was hard to tell in the pictures if this was also interwoven leather or if it was an actual leather piece. I love the fact that it's a solid leather piece. This I believe is a calf leather, and so it's a little bit stiffer than the Napa leather, which is a type of lambskin. And this strap came a little bit stiff, so what I had to do was kind of do this to soften it a bit. I know some people might be cringing when I do that because you're manipulating the leather somehow, but it really did soften the leather, and so it just molds to my body a lot better and easier when I'm wearing it crossbody, which I find a lot more comfortable. So I'm going to show you a quick difference between this and this. Now, in terms of dimensions and sizes, they're exactly the same. They are exactly the same. These are exactly the same size in length. It's exactly the same size. I will say the Napa leather is much more malleable and easier to kind of mold to your body when you're wearing the bag. This is a lot stiffer, so when it came, like you can see the way that it was folded or wound, you can kind of feel, you can see those indentations, but I did really have to work the leather just for like a few minutes, nothing crazy. And there was a big difference in how much more soft it is and just the comfortability of wearing it and molding it to your body. Now, what I will show you is that there's a difference between the strap drop and the shorter strap. So this is obviously the Napa leather, and if you can tell, it it's really not a shoulder bag. This is a little bit more doable, but you can see the difference there in terms of the strap drop. It's a little bit more spacious here than here. Now, I'm not really a shoulder bag person, and I'm not really into that 90s look, so I wouldn't wear it that way anyway, but it does give you a little bit more comfortability, I suppose, especially if you're wearing a thicker coat, perhaps, on this one versus the shorter one, which is this one. And I will also throw in some B-roll for me actually wearing it on my body. Now, one thing I did want to mention, and you might think of it as a con, how I mentioned that the short strap is a bit longer on the leather interwoven one. And that might be good just from if you want more comfort and room for holding it on the crook of your arm or on your shoulder or that sort of thing. But if you're not using this shorter strap and you're using the longer shoulder strap, then it just falls differently. I feel like I like the way this falls because it's kind of clean. There's not a lot of excess. You can use a longer strap and wear it on your shoulder and crossbody, and this doesn't really get in the way. I'm not saying this gets in the way, but it just doesn't look quite as clean. You can see that there's much more excess of a strap, so it hangs a little bit differently than this one because this is shorter. When I do wear this crossbody, for instance, I don't like the strap hanging on the front, whereas if I'm wearing this one crossbody, it really doesn't bother me where this strap is hanging, whether it's the front or the back, because it's not that intrusive. It's pretty clean, and the strap is quite short, so it doesn't get in the way or it doesn't feel fussy, whereas this is a little bit fussier. So when I am wearing it with the longer strap, I want to always make sure that this strap is in the back so it looks a lot cleaner. Why this strap is longer than this one, I'm not sure. If they were going to change anything on the strap length, I would have personally made the long strap longer, because a lot of people would have preferred a much longer shoulder strap so that you don't have to just be petite to be able to wear it crossbody, and you could be any size or any height and wear it crossbody comfortably. So that's the only thing that I would say they kind of got wrong is if they really should have made this long shoulder strap much longer than elongating this one. This doesn't really make a material difference in the way you wear it by having a slightly longer strap, whereas it makes a much more material difference if this were even like 2 or 3 inches longer. So something to note, now if you've seen my video on the pink Fendi Baguette, I did have some wear, and because this is a much softer bag, there is some wrinkling, and which is natural in especially a soft leather. But one thing I wanted to do was get a bag organizer. So the bag organizer I got is really to, number one, make sure that it keeps the structure and shape of my bag, but also because for this bag in particular, I was concerned because of the inside. It was really hard to tell. Like, I did ask my SA for pictures on the inside, but they only sent me pictures of this. And what I was really looking for was pictures of the actual inside. So on the actual inside, there is a kind of flat piece that you can do this, and has a snap button closure, but it's a little slip pocket essentially. And the inside is woven obviously on this side and the opposite side underneath here. But the actual inside, because this is a leather piece, there's a piece of raw leather on the inside as well. And I don't know if it's a microfiber or a suede. It feels like a suede, to be honest, but it does attract a lot of dust and just little crumbs or some sort, but it's kind of gross. And because I did wear the bag without the bag organizer while I was waiting for that to come. So I am glad that I did order an organizer. So the organizer that I use is from Samorga, and I've always ordered from Samorga, although I have tried other brands, but Samorga is the one that I prefer just because it's always a great fit. The big difference for me is also the way they ship it to you. So I've ordered from Samorga previously in the past many times for different organizers or for different bags, and I do prefer Samorga. I've tried some from Amazon. I have not liked it because it doesn't actually keep its shape. And I've also ordered one from another company for my mulberry backpack. And I'm going to show you the difference between that and the Samorga organizer and why I prefer a Samorga organizer. Now, this is not a sponsored video by any means, but I did ask for a coupon code, and they were really generous and offered me a 20% off coupon code, which I will put on the screen here, and I will also link in the description box. But it's for 20% off, which is amazing. So, and I love the way that Samorga ships their organizers, because the way this one in particularly was shipped was they put these airbags in it. And of course it's covered, goes into another plastic bag for protection, and then it goes in the box. And I have a Samorga one this is my Longchamp large Le Pliage tote. I also have one for my Louis Vuitton MM bag, which I can't find at the moment, is that they're all, even this one, this huge Le Pliage large one, was shipped in a box and it was not folded. It is stuffed and put in a box properly, and it's shipped like that. And the difference between shipping it like that versus this one, first of all, this is the other brands that I had ordered from, but look how much pilling and fuzz there is on this one. And this is how it came. So it kind of came looking real haggard, and the entire thing is very, very pilly. But also when I received it, it was folded. It was folded like this or something. And so anytime I use this in my mulberry backpack, it collapses in on itself, so it doesn't keep its structure. If it keeps kind of collapsing in on itself because of the way that it was shipped or because of the materials that they use, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So I was kind of turned off by this. And so ever since then, I've just always ordered from Samorga. So if you have a need for a bag organizer or shaper, then go check them out, because there's tons of silhouettes that they use that are custom to that particular bag. Anyway, that aside, I will be using this, and look how perfectly that works. And I love that there's like other internal pockets here, and it just kind of really helps you organize your belongings, but it is a very structured and comfortable fit. Now, I got this in the 2mm because I wanted to make sure it was gonna hold its shape. Less for this one because I'm less concerned about shape and structure for this bag. So for the Napa leather, the leather is so much softer, therefore the bag is a lot more mushy. and smushy, so I'm going to use it in this bag as well so that it just keeps its shape and structure a lot better. So that is a great addition. Anyway, this bag fits everything that a Napa leather bag would obviously fit, considering it's the same dimensions. I have it filled in here with my bag organizer, and I absolutely love it. It just makes it that much more user-friendly. So it fits everything. It is such a gorgeous bag. I so adore it. I just can't even tell you. This is part of the drop 1 of the fall winter collection. I know there's a drop 2 because I got a text message from my SA with pictures of those, but this is from the first drop for fall winter. And I love that it's part of the fall winter collection because it almost gives me, not permission, because I'll wear my bag whenever I want, but it does kind of reinforce to me that like it's okay to wear this year round, especially fall winter, even though it kind of looks like a summer bag because it does have that raffia vibe, even though it's not raffia. Again, the leather stitching is incredible. This lighting is so yellow and terrible, so I apologize, but I just think the color is so right on. I love the contrast in color between the sand and the brown. I really love that it's a bit more structured. It just is so gorgeous. It really feels like a work of art to me, and but a functional work of art. So I always call it functional art. It really is functional art, but it's so beautiful. It's just amazing. So let me know what you think. Is this a hit or miss? Is this something that is just god-awful ugly? Or is this something that you might go for as well? But I'd love to know what you think. And again, this is probably going to be my only exception to having a duplicate bag. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, then maybe go binge watch some of my other videos. And I will see you next time.